Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.
And good evening, everyone, and welcome to the weekly wrap-up show here on NETSN Week 15. It's your boy Brett Swinney here. Alongside of me tonight, we got Christian Blevins and our man Spence. What's going on, fellas?
What's up, guys?
What's up, guys? What's going on?
How you doing tonight?
It's doing pretty good after that weekend of football. Had some crazy results. We had some crazy games. We had some really good matchups. Overall, I'm feeling pretty good about the way my pick'ems ended up. I was 5-1 for the week. I don't think anybody probably was going to be 6-0. If you went 6-0 this week, you're lying.
You're a liar.
How'd you guys do?
Well, I'm going to be honest with you guys. I only picked one game, and that was the Garrison and Timpson game because I was kind of torn between every single game. I don't know why I just kind of avoided picking the Carthage game because that one would have just messed me up. I had to make a lot of apologies this week because of that game. So
okay,
that was
so you got
that was pretty bad.
So you're on the apology tour again. Okay, I see.
Yeah.
Spence, how'd you turn out?
I think I probably went 4-2 because I thought Winsboro was going to do something crazy and beat Malakoff. Not even close. Not even close.
Well, we had 4 others besides myself that went 5 out of 6 this week. Our man, the Tyler Paper, Brandon Ogden, Chris Williams, Jason Mize, and Stephen Offield, the trainer over there at Chapel Hill.
Oh wow! Oh,
so we
come
had,
on, man.
So we had 4 out of 4 others that went 5 out of 6. I mean, honestly, I think it was tough. I mean, I was kind of on the fence on a couple, and I just happened to be on the right side of the fence there. Looking at the overall standings, though, you know who's still winning, guys. It's that same guy, that Jason Shivers guy, and he's still winning. Jamar He's at 113. Jamar at 110. Drew Swinney at 109, and then I'm tied with come on ref Larry Pierce. He was actually on the call with me. Larry's one of the center crew guys. He helped us out and did the Timpson Garrison game with me last week. We're at 107. So I'm feeling pretty good. I don't see any other names on here that's a NETSN name. I think I'm ahead of everybody. So I'm feeling pretty good here about where I'm at. I see maybe there's a Jeremy Hubbard guy and a Kyle Owens guy down below me. Main thing, there's that Matt Diggs guy. I want to be ahead of him because he's like the pick'em guru around. We had him on our Beast from the East show. If you guys missed it this morning, we had the professor on helping us make picks this week. Kind of gave us a different perspective as he's got that statewide knowledge. So we as we get farther and farther along, it's East Texas versus everybody else. So we had him on this morning. So really good show. So if you missed that one, make sure you go back and watch it. But fellas, man, I think the game I was at, I thought, and it's for game one, Timpson and Garrison. I went with Timpson. I got to see Terry Bussey for the first time in person. It was worth it. I mean, he's just that guy. I mean, JJ Garner goes down in the first quarter or second quarter. I can't remember which one. It was in the very beginning of the game. And he already had his cape on, but he's like, nah, I'm gonna put my other cape on. He went on and got his real Superman cape on and basically just took the team on his back and said, I'm gonna do it myself. And he was impressive, guys. The way he can the game slows down. And we got to see Spence, you and I got to see Jacoby Williams.
Right.
And he's a game changer. It's just a different level of game changer with Terry. Like the game's even slower for him. Like he knows when to just jet through the hole and when to throw it. He's got a better arm, and people label him as an athlete. He's got a tremendous arm.
He does
for being an athlete, not even labeled as a quarterback. So some of the throws he made were pretty incredible. I was pleasantly pleased with the game. I mean, Garrison hung in with him there for a little bit. The thing that swung the game for me, and I don't know if any of you guys got to see any of it, but the end of the first half, Timpson gave the Garrison had the ball. Okay, they were in their own territory far back. I thought they should have ran a few times and got in the locker room all tied up, not giving Terry. But they threw a couple passes. The clock stopped, and they punted to Bussey. And then, like one play later, he hits a big 50-plus yard strike to the end zone for a touchdown, and then Timpson got the ball.
He threw that ball maybe 70 yards, dog. That ball was at the back of the end zone. That dude made a hell of a throw. I'm sorry to cut you off, man.
No, you're good. I'm glad you saw it. It was something that was our play of the game of the night. I mean, that was the backbreaker. Garrison just could never get over that. They had a chance to go in the locker room all square, and instead they gave Timpson points, and then they got the ball back in the first half or second half.
Yeah.
But it was just a backbreaker.
I did see that. I just saw that play. On your show, Spence. I was maybe 15, 20 minutes ago. I was like, okay. So I saw the 7-yard touchdown pass. I was like, all right.
Yeah, that ball was in the air for a while.
The interception and the touchdown.
That pick was insane.
Yeah.
He goes and catches it at the highest point. It's my ball. Nobody else here on the field even matters. It's all about me right now. I'm going to get it. The crazy thing about it, because he plays two-way ball, and you know he's a great athlete. You know I just want to know, could he have that type of impact on a 4A, 5A, 6A level? Could he go and do as much, right? Can he go play offense and defense? Because we know he could do one or the other. We know he's super talented. He can go play defense and shut you down. He can go play offense and run up the points. But could you do it the way – I mean, surely no, right? There's no way he could go 5A and go dominate and be a first-team All-State safety on both sides of the ball, right?
I mean, he's pretty good. He's pretty good.
Amazing.
I mean, he's as good as advertised. It was a lot of fun getting to call that game, and they're moving on. And guys, I don't want to say this is just destiny, but Refugio's out. I mean, how nice does that pathway look for them? I mean, it looks pretty good. If they can, I know losing Garner's going to hurt, but they got a chance at it.
Well, and they're facing a 2-loss team. I don't want to get ahead of us and talk about the next game, but nobody with 2 losses is going to beat Terry Bussett. That's just how I feel about the guy, man. If you got 2 losses going into it, 2 other people figured it out. Nah, fam, let's go ahead. It was a great season.
Yeah, some big boys got taken early with prize, and I don't want to count. You get looking at opponents that's out because it can now the teams that are still playing are pretty good, or they taking anything people that are still playing. It's rare that you get those one-offs. You know what I'm saying? And like they something either it's in a lot of that because I know a lot of people looking at like, oh well, Gilmer may not be that good. Gilmer's gotten better, and I think they've progressively gotten better throughout the year, and to this point. And I know we're probably talking ahead, but I don't know, man. I think it's a lot. Some of the season man has gotten better. I don't know. It's a lot.
To be honest with you, I think Gilmer and not to get off top, but I think Gilmer got better after they played Lindale, in my opinion. Obviously, I've been the one to criticize their defense for the longest, but I mean the way they played this past Friday, I mean it just looked like, and Spence was right. Carthage looks vulnerable. They looked vulnerable all year. I mean. It just felt like somebody was going to do it at some point, whether that was in the semifinal, rather the state championship game, rather the 4th round. But I never thought it would be Gilmer because I said the winner of the PG Carthage game would probably beat Gilmer or Opry, whoever they were playing, and it ended up being something different. I had a lot of apologies, Corey.
Don't worry, Christian. You aren't the only one that picked that game wrong. I mean, shout out to Herschel Hawkins. He was our one man that picked Gilmer over Carthage in the pick'em poll this week. So
he voted with his heart. He didn't vote with his brain.
He voted with
his heart.
He did that lost.
Yeah, well,
was nullified.
Well, he didn't get any other. He missed another one because he wasn't one of our top pickers this week. So, we got some chats here. We got some guys with us here. See, we got James Square said he's been waiting on this show all week. Oh, thanks, James. We got this is Derek here. Big jiggly water balloons. That's Derek. What's up, Derek?
I'm sorry.
We got Bump TY5X Dangerfield all the way. We got saying Dangerfield and Gunter. We got Dangerfield Canadian. We got people saying that the Canadian Gunter game is the state championship on the other side. Kind of discount Dangerfield a little bit, but let's see. We got
Dangerfield gonna be there. Don't worry about it. I got
one. I think I'm gonna be honest with you. This year, I think Canadian is better than Gunter.
Let's see. We got Matt Smith. Wonder if Terry Bussey will stay committed to Texas A&M. I'm shocked that Malakoff took my Red Raiders out like they did. They're great. Would like to see them play Dangerfield.
That wouldn't be a game, brother. That would not be a good game.
It's in Shires production, top of the board. Oh, it's Shires or Wallington or one of those guys. Or tuning in, one of our center guys there. Let's see. Yeah, I saw this. Nick Saban was in Dangerfield. I know he better stay away. Nick Saban, go away. Don't be playing with him.
Please.
He's already committed to the UT twice.
Hey, man, Bubba already said he was going to play ball with Jalen Hale. Just letting you guys know, he tweeted this out probably like a year ago that him and Jalen Hale were going to be on the same team. Saban's in town.
That means Hale coming to Texas. He's in the portal like everybody else.
Hey, I wouldn't mind. I'm a Longhorn fan all the way through. But yeah.
To be honest with you, I think Jalen Hill's probably going to start next year. because I think they got to find somebody because Jermaine Burton is probably going to the NFL. So
I know Jalen is somewhere mad. He spent his whole high school career being underthrown, and then he has to go deal with Jalen Milroe.
Hey,
like, damn, I thought I went to Alabama.
Hey,
give me a quarterback.
Pretty good quarterbacks at UT.
They sure do. He knew that going into it. I tried to advise him to go that way, but
Arch.
This is Larry.
It's hard. It's hard when they Crimson Tide check roll.
Larry.
Larry's
gonna be calling the Timpson game. He's here. He's with Shires and them. So,
okay.
I got NATO pulling the upset. No about that.
Sorry, buddy.
So Vince, we were discussing the Timpson Garrison game. Did you get to see any of that or have any thoughts on that particular game?
Garrison just can't do it. He just can't beat him. I mean,
Dang.
and it happens, man. I mean, they were able to stop Jacoby, and they was able to stop I can't call old boy from
Raspberry or you got Black.
Yeah, and it didn't work out, man. I don't know what to say and honestly, it could be that they ran out of gas. I mean, they had to go through what they went through, and then every week it was another superstar.
One word, Vince. Bussy. That's all you need. That's all you need to know.
Yeah, clearly Bussy is beyond a lot of the other talent that we saw, like because they were able to handle everybody else until Bussy.
You think Jacoby Williams looked good, Vince?
With it.
You look, Jacoby Williams was out here. Oh, Bussy's.
I thought he was. I ain't gonna say he was the only one on that team, but
now Bussy does have some guys around him. Though.
He's got a point because if you put Bussy on that Bayville roster, he ain't gonna look the same.
Yeah, he's got some guys around him.
Not the same. He's still gonna look real good. I just don't know if he's gonna look as dominant as he does with the Timpson roster. Timpson has some good players.
They'll be a first round team and they'll be out. How about that?
But that's disrespectful. But yeah,
I'm just saying.
Well, what are they got it on the wall in Colorado? I don't know if y'all watching this stuff on Netflix, not Netflix, but on YouTube. Where they always say the man never tries to be the man. That's Terry Bussey. He is who he is. The man be the man. That's who he is.
That's
he
true.
Ain't gotta try. He got the buck stop. He plays the thing. The buck stops here.
Hey, how about this? Put them on Dangerousfield's team and see how dominant they would be.
That's not fair, man. That wouldn't be. They already got abundance of athletes. Oh, I saw them a few weeks ago. We'll talk about that here.
That's like putting Chris Paul with Kobe. It's like why? Like no. Why would you put Chris Paul on the same team with Kobe in that year? They won a championship. I don't know if you were born. You weren't born that year. Never mind. You still young. You don't remember.
I was born in 05.
So you definitely don't remember.
That was the last good year of Gen Z.
He said it's the last good year of Jay-Z.
Gen Z.
I thought you said Jay-Z.
Not Jay-Z.
That would have been funny. I wish you would have said Jay-Z. That would have been funny.
I was like, I can't remember what song came out of 06. We still had CDs and stuff back.
So,
I don't even want to talk about that.
So game 2, guys, is Mart and Lovelady. And I kind of kept up with this one. And Lovelady, man, started off like gangbusters. That we turned over the score and Mart's up 20-10, I think, something like that at half. And then next thing you know,
Lovelady was up 20-10.
Was it? Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, Lovelady was up 20-10. And then next thing you know, I don't know what Mart's coach said at halftime, but whatever it was, they put up like 40 something points in the second half, and it was just over. I was like, man. I mean, we knew that Mart was that good. I thought kind of for a minute, Corey had talked about how Lovelady had been knocked out over and over and over, and you get mad. That's like one of those you circle that game on the calendar, and you want that team. You finally want to get that revenge, and it just wasn't.
Just can't do it.
wasn't that meant to be there at all. It was not.
I mean, when you got a team putting up 40 points on you after halftime, I mean that's kind of that means the head coach was probably saying, if we lose, I'm running the crap out of y'all first day of all season.
I don't know what it was.
That's probably what he said.
It was probably a lot of other words.
Hey, listen. That I'm not Coach Reed.
You know what? I don't even think it was that.
But that's what they did to us. That's what he said to us.
It was probably a lot of that. Let's just say that. It was probably a lot of that.
You know what? I don't think. I'm saying it's probably like, because I mean, at that point in time, it's do or die. You don't want to get into start coaching mistakes right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, that half is over. You can't recreate that half. The half is over. You just got to move forward. Like, now we're going to problem solving. Like, we do better this half. So he was like, all right, 0-0. And then now I'm not sure. Now I'm gonna tell you right now, he didn't just say it that calmly. There was a little fire under that 0. You know what I'm saying? He's not just gonna be that calm. It's gonna be some rah with that. But the mentality is 0-0, blah 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 blah,
well,
yada yada yada. Let's go do it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's pretty much what it was. But yeah, there's no point of. I'm not gonna let into my team at halftime if they down. I'm just gonna.
It was 47-0 in the second half. Let's just say that.
Yeah.
Listen, he probably said, "Listen, guys, they suck, and if we don't win this game, it's going to be a rough day for y'all."
I'm pretty sure he didn't say that. I'm pretty sure he didn't say that.
Hold on, Christian. Hold on. Tell me before that. We need to censor you out. We're going to have to censor everything Christian says here.
Oh man.
But no, I mean, you go undefeated. You go undefeated coming to that game. You're lovely. You're not. I mean, you're good.
20-10 in the first half. It just depends on how those 20 came about. Yeah. You can make mistakes. You can do this. You can do that. All these things that can factor into getting down quick. But it's the better team is always going to prevail. The cream is going to always rise to the top. So you just got to keep playing. And I think that's all that happened in that North Lovelady game. Let me go fix my Wi-Fi before I die. I'll see you guys in a second.
All right. So
I just got this feeling like, what would you say? What would you say at halftime? What would y'all say at halftime? You're down 20-10. You're the favorite. What would you say to your team at halftime?
I'm throwing chairs. I'm throwing Gatorades. I'm doing anything. Now I'm just kidding. I ain't doing all that. But I am getting in your butt because I'm just like, listen, what are we doing?
Mine's going to be along the lines of, do you guys want this to end right tonight? Like, let's you seniors, this is it. Do you want this?
You want to put up the pads on Monday?
The uniform. You want to try to sell it to your guys like, this is the last time your team will be together all as one. Like, this is it. You don't come out and play, it's over. Like, this over. Like, that's how I'm going to sell it.
Honestly, that's part of it is their play, but man, at some point it had to jump like that. Some of that is coaching. Like, a lot of that is coaching, honestly. So I wonder if, they went into the locker room, and they were able to assess, okay, what worked, what didn't work, and then change up the game plan.
Of course.
I mean, I've seen teams do that before where they change it up. They switch it up, and you don't see it all the time at this level, but for those who do, a lot of times it works out in their favor. And honestly, it helps when you get a couple of scores, I would say, with momentum with Uncle Mo. So I imagine, coaches probably, changed up what they were doing,
Well, and like I said, anytime the score is that, when it finishes a game, the score is that big of a difference. One team is obviously better than the other one, and it's such a long game. No, Bumpy, I don't want to talk about that. But like when you beat somebody by that many points, sometimes you just got to slow down, let the game get settled. I remember my junior year, Waxahachie jumped out on us 20-0, and we beat them 50-26. in the first quarter. Like sometimes things just don't go your way to start the game, but you just got to have a little patience, keep playing. The talent's going to eventually get to it. It's going to show where it needs to be if you're a well-coached team. And obviously Mart is, because they didn't panic. They probably didn't go at halftime and throw chairs and tell them and threaten them with they probably went in there and told the guys, hey, it's going to be okay. We're a better team than them. We made some mistakes, but the cream is going to rise to the top. Just keep trusting and believing in what we do. And I think as a coach, especially if you think you've got a better team, you don't flip script and go crazy on them. I think you just be patient, man. It's going to be all right. We're better than this group. Something's about to break.
I have a question for you guys. Can you guys imagine being a coach and you're up 20-10 on somebody at halftime and you say, hey, I told you we're a better team than them, and all of a sudden you get beat, you get shut out in the second half?
You don't tell those lies. You don't tell those lies, because I can guarantee
you.
First
of all, you go up 20-10. Yeah, I don't know if a coach in America, well, some coaches probably do it. You just up 20-10 at half. You tell them you're a better team. You're lying. You just up 20-10 at the half. You're playing a good game. Right now, after we win the football game,
if you thinking it's over. Yeah,
that's bad coaching. You already like no. We're 0-0, fellas. 0-0. We don't play a half. We play full 4 quarters. We play full 4 quarters. The better team's gonna win. You know, that's what I'm telling my guy. I wouldn't say the better team anyway. The best team will win. That's what I'm saying. I wouldn't tell them you're the better team.
Whoever has the better plan. I mean, honestly, they probably figured out what Love Lady was running and was able to shut it down and give them nothing from that point on. Right. I mean, it happens. So
yeah, and I mean 20 points.
I mean, we seen it at you remember when Atlanta and the Patriots played in the Super Bowl and they was up 28-3 at the half? Man, and then the owner come down and he's dancing and celebrating on the sideline. You know, but they came out and give them nothing else. That
was him letting go of Michael Vick. See, God don't like ugly. See, you should have kept Michael Vick. See, Arthur Blank.
They would have won.
I ain't gonna say all of that. I'm not gonna say all of that. But the Patriots did what they had to do. They did what they had to do.
That's funny.
No, it'd be like the Dallas Mavericks. You were up what 3-0, 2-0, and you end up losing 4-2. You lost 4 straight. You kidding me? Oh, we already got the celebration, the route.
Hey, you can be like, and I'm not trying to say. Listen, I'm not trying to say this because it's my team. You could be like the Miami Heat, who were up 2-0 on the Dallas Mavericks, and then all of a sudden you drop.
When you 5?
Yeah, I was 5. I remember that.
Let me know how old you were.
So funny thing.
That's your fault for picking a bad team.
So here's the thing. My dad, I was the biggest D Wade fan ever, and he bought me a number 3 jersey when I was 5 years old. So one day, I was at my uncle's house. I was at my uncle's house, and I started. So one day I was at my uncle's house and we just started watching the finals. So LeBron and them go up 2-0 on the Mavericks. And I was a little 5-year-old at the time, so I really didn't understand much. But I was just like, oh, they're going to win this series. I go to my grandparents' house, game 5. I think that's when it was. Excuse me, not game 5, but game 6. Dirk hit a one-legged shot, and all I remember was crying. And all I remember was just crying my eyes out. Like, and you know what? You remember at the time, everybody hated LeBron because he left Cleveland. So
no, that's not why I hate LeBron. They hate LeBron because of the whole spectacle. The decision thing. That's what ticked me off. Like
it was the decision.
I never hated it.
I did. I still don't like it.
I never hated it. You can go anywhere you want to go.
As long as you don't come.
You can go anywhere you want to go. It's for you.
It wasn't. That's not what you're talking about. People were mad at how he did it. Like the whole.
He did it on TV and he made a big.
Yeah, that part. He can do whatever you want to do. whatever. He not.
But you know what? Here's
Whatever
the
you want to
problem.
do.
It's funny how that second time he left, everybody understood why. And it was because of basically the owner. Like, I don't.
Well, the guy that does it first is always going to get all of the ridicule every single time.
Right.
Because you haven't seen it before and it's unforeseen and it's why would he do that? He's so selfish and why would he make a spectacle of himself? And now it's just common. It's a common occurrence nowadays. I mean, I still don't think anybody's got on TV to announce their free agency, but I don't think you've ever had a free agent to the level and status of LeBron James at the time too.
Yeah.
Can I address Bumpty though?
I would never.
Can I talk to Bumpty for a second? He asked if do we think we would beat Forney? I will say this. Lancaster barely beat us and we should have won that game. And Forney barely beat Lancaster. So even without Taylor Tatum, if we would have played Forney, we would have had a chance. I don't want to say we would have beat them because as a coach, you just don't do that. You just don't come out and say we would have beat them. But we would have had a chance if you just look at just look at the scores. They beat Lancaster in overtime, double overtime. And we lost to Lancaster in the closing seconds. And if a left tackle doesn't trip, we don't fumble the ball, and we probably hit our head on the goalpost on one play, on the last play of the game anyway, for us anyway. So I think, we would have had a chance to get at 40. Alito is a different story. I'll be honest with you. In order to beat Alito, we would have needed Taylor for sure. We could have got at 40 for sure. I don't know for sure if we would have beat them because they were a good team and we barely beat them the first time. But just looking at the score between Forney and Lancaster, we definitely could have got at them for sure.
I just would love to see that matchup between y'all and Alito again because that was.
It was on the to-do list. It was up there. It was high on the list. We wanted to see it again.
Well, I mean, but that was basically y'all's revenge game. That was just like, let's get Alito so we can get to
or didn't rhyme. Like them or didn't rhyme. We can line it up with either one of them. We wanted either one of those guys. So yeah, not to talk about Longy, but Bumpty did ask about it. So
It's straight.
Let's go to game 3. Dangerfield takes it to Newton 42-21, guys. And I had Dangerfield in this one, but this was one of those games I was like, this could go either way. I sure didn't think they were going to beat him by 21. And I think it shocked a lot of people, not just in East Texas, but on the state level.
For sure.
I will say that.
Go ahead.
Oh, go ahead.
I think Dangerfield, and then the biggest thing for me, especially with Bubba Hampton, especially with Chase, especially with those guys that they've had. More so, I'm gonna put this more on Bubba. You know what I'm saying? He hadn't did anything special in the playoffs. You go back to his freshman, sophomore, junior year when they got beat. The cat hadn't did anything special in the playoffs. And so for me, I actually challenged him on the show, and I challenged the whole Dangerfield group all year long. It's like, I don't care about what you guys do in the regular season. I need the D1 players to play like D1 players when it's time. And I think for the first time in a while, I'm not going to say in the first time ever, but in a while, the best players on the team are finally leading the team. I think it has everything to do with Chase Johnson. That dude is a man. He's big. He's fast. He'll throw the ball. He's confident. He's got 3 or 4 receivers that can go get it. They've got a great back in Braden. I think his name is Braden Lewis, number 3, who's just big, too big for that level. Williams. Ashton Williams had a great game. He had a kickoff return and a 30-yard touchdown for them in that game. They're finally playing at the level that you would expect this team to play at all year long. And I think the Harmony loss is a credit to them. They figured, and I thought Newton was just going to beat them up, honestly, because that's the formula to get at Dangerfield. You got to beat these guys up. You got to run the football, shorten the game, shorten the amount of possessions that they get, and hope you get a turnover or 2. And I thought Newton was just going to come out and just be physical because, the tradition of Newton, they're going to run the football. They're going to get at you. They're going to be tough. They're going to be physical. And, Dangerfield came out there and said, F all that. We're here. And I love how they start games. Within the first 3 or 4 plays of a game, Dangerfield is going to take a shot. Chase Johnson is going to rear back and he's going to throw that ball as far as he can. And one of them fast receivers, either Mosley or Aaron Hampton, are going to run that ball down. And they're going to try to send a message to you offensively. I love an attacking team. And I think that mixed with, and they've always played good defense. That's the one thing I can give Coach Nelson credit for. They've always, every time they lose, it's because the offense pretty much comes up short whenever they lose a game with all these dudes. But defensively, those guys came and hit dude in the mouth and gave it to him. And I was very, 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 very surprised. I mean, honestly, I thought Newton was going to win. I thought it was going to be kind of like the Harmony game, kind of like not necessarily the Timpson game, but even with the Timpson game, because it's not like Terry Bussey just went off in that game. He was his first game coming back. That was still a J.J. Garner show. And if you can run the ball, you can get at Dangerfield. And I thought that was Newton's strength. And I am pleasantly surprised, happy for them. And they're going to have to keep proving themselves, for the next 2 weeks. But I'm very pleasantly surprised in what Dangerfield did this week. And I'm glad to see their best players play at their best at this time of the year, man.
Well, here's the thing. I was shocked because I thought that the game was going to go to whoever had the ball last. That was the thing with me. Whoever had the ball last was probably going to win the game. And I'm like Spence, I thought it was Newton. I mean, just they do what normal teams do against like a really, really good and talented team that wear them down with the running game, sometimes the passing game. They wear them down. But I said that if Newton was going to win this game, they were going to have to keep Dangerfield's offense off the field, and they couldn't do it. They could not do it. They could not do it, and I don't know what is happening. It's for some odd reason. We saw that in district with a couple of teams, with a couple of lower seeded teams, where they would just be like, "Oh, we're just going to keep their offense off the field, and that's all we got to do to win the game." I don't know what happened, but that's not the case anymore. These teams have actually. These top teams like Dangerfield and Timpson and Chapel Hill and Lancaster and
hey man, chill out.
All these teams.
Chill out. Wow. Not Lancaster. Stop playing, man.
Disrespectful all day.
Stop playing, bro. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me, man.
Steve. Hey, you can go to college football.
You think it's Sweet Tea in here. Stop playing with me.
But no, I'm serious.
You got to sip that slow.
All these higher seeded teams have literally said, we're done with that. We're going to keep our offense on the field. And what we're going to do is we're going to start playing better defense. And that's what Dangerfield did. I thought that this game was going to be a 45-38 game. Because I thought that Newton could.
Dangerfield's defense has been pretty solid
for a while.
I mean, that's not
defense ain't never been the issue out there. It's never been the defense. Every time they get beat in the playoffs, they put up a goose egg or like 20 or like 14 points in the playoffs, and it's like, where's all this high flying offensive talent we've been seeing all year long? And like I said earlier, like that was part of my synopsis coming out of it was like, where is Bubba Hampton in these playoffs? Where is where are all these D1 type athletes? And now it's like, they're playing ball now. They're getting the ball to them and they're letting them make plays. I'd like to see Hampton have 12 catches a game. I'd like to see that number go up. I'd like to see him get the ball in his hands as much as possible, especially when you got a guy that's going to Texas that's playing these guys at this level and going furthermore to playing a team that's undefeated on the year, that's figured out something that's working for them. I don't know much about this other team because I don't go study other teams like that, but when you've got, we're in the 5th round of the playoffs and you got a guy that's going to Texas, get that man the ball.
Yeah, he touches. I got to see him.
He needs 10 touches every game.
Let him
10 and a half.
Let him have 12 catches.
If he's wide receiver, I'm just saying 10.
No, I'm with you, but I'm saying like as talented as he is, put him at running back. Snap it to him. Let him run with the thing. Terry Bussey is what he is because he touches the ball every single play. When you got somebody that's this talented, and I'm not trying to critique them at all. I'm just talking right now. But, a guy like Bubba Hampton's got to touch it 20 times a game when we get into these types of games. A guy like Kenny Mosley's got to touch it 6 or 7. Chase, I mean, they got it. They just got to use their guys, and that's what I want to see against Todd Haven. Or City could go undefeated in Todd Haven district. That's funny, Bumpy. Stop it.
I'm gonna say this.
Stop it now.
I fig Newton. I fig Newton thing. I figured Newton would kind of put up a fight. I didn't pick him, obviously. But man, they only gave up 7 points all district. 2 people scored on. That's it. I'm like, all right, man, they just feel, got to come out. Well, they beat Harmony kind of easy. They put up big 58 on Harmony.
Yeah.
You already know what Harmony did to Dangerfield. I'm like, what Dangerfield team is gonna show up? Like I've been rooting for y'all all year. Like some games I didn't, some games I didn't. I'm thinking maybe like 1 or 2 games, maybe. But that was low 2 games I didn't win.
Dangerfield kind of reminds me of this year. They remind me of Iowa.
I know what you mean, James.
Good defense, but their offense is just hiding under a rock. That's basically what.
You say Iowa as in IOWA, the Hawkeyes?
Yeah, the Hawkeyes.
All right.
The team.
Okay.
The team that couldn't even score against Michigan. Which is
understandable.
They just got defense.
Are we comparing them to Dangerfield?
Man,
do you want me to say FSU? Because I can do that too.
No, don't compare him to Dangerfield. That's
not a
Dangerfield.
He's just getting very disrespectful tonight, man.
That's what I'm saying.
That part. Like I thought I was drinking. What's going on here?
The disrespect.
Hey, if y'all want me to be, want me to be real disrespectful, I got my.
Said they the Hawker. They ain't got no offense. It's just straight defense.
Brett technically gave me an idea of what teams that I said that would be finished if they play a certain team, and I have a whole list right here, waiting to be said on this show.
The teams that score, Bumpy. That's what I'm like. Like Chase Johnson's probably leading East Texas in passing touchdowns, and he's talking about the Owls.
At least say LSU or Oregon.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll go LSU. How about
okay, that's way better. That's a way better comparison because at least they scored.
Yeah,
at least they scored.
I'll take LSU.
Right.
I mean, a direct one would probably be more Colorado because they can score, but they don't know. Sometimes they're a little iffy. Sometimes, I like that. That'd be a better comparison. That'd been almost spot on. They're good.
Okay, I don't know about Colorado.
There's flashes of good offense.
So
listen, we're talking about a team who got
Colorado
blown out. They got blown out 42-10 by Washington State. I mean,
twice.
That's just.
Can I read these scores out to my man over here so he cannot ever say something ridiculous like that again? Dangerfield has scored 53, 34, 26, 21, 42, 42, 40, 21, 35, 62, 48, 33, 48 points, and then they put 42 up last week.
Okay, LSU. I'll give it LSU.
Yeah.
How about that?
Okay.
I'll tell you what, man, if I could virtually send you a drink, I would do it right now. That way it would at least make sense when you say something like that.
He said you better back it
up. Yeah,
man. Oh man. Hey, so I know that one was a good one, but game 4, guys. Probably the biggest upset we know in this area. Probably the statewide, one of the biggest upsets. I don't know one that was any bigger, but Gilmer
in the last 25 years.
Gilmer in overtime knocks off Carthage, and wow, I got to see the end of this one. We turned this one on in the booth as I was packing up. I had the game on, and then I had Vince and Corey on. So I wanted to see their reaction while watching it. And man, oh man, what a game. 47-44 in overtime. You guys questioned the kicker kicking that field goal, that first first overtime, and then it ended up being the game-winning points. Who would have thought that Surratt would have been rolling out and fumbled the ball? I mean, that just what a way to end it. I mean, yeah, it happened, and it happened this week, and
nobody's perfect.
The Big Red Sea, as we call it.
Talk about the drive, but not to negate that, but talk about the drive he had to tie the game
right before that.
That's what I'm talking about. The clock management.
That's what's worth talking about.
And the fact that they shouldn't even have gotten to that Gilmer should have slid down and took a knee.
I mean, you can see it on. I didn't, of course, obviously, I didn't watch the game, right? Because I was over in Longview watching the Chapel Hill Kilgore game. But I'm watching the highlights of it, and I'm watching Tennyson. He didn't realize how easy this was to score. Like, they're not trying.
I think he just got excited, and because think about it. Think about it. All right, so you already up. But listen, you already up, and then you get the pick. You know what I'm saying? And now you going down the field, and they open up the lanes for you. They part the Red Sea for you. Literally, they parted the Red Sea for you.
Your antennas, your football antennas got to go off, though, man.
It should, but you can see why he was distracted. Because in his mind, they already up, and he about to score again. Yeah, so he about to do the Dion walking in to the end zone. I can see that. Because honestly, it didn't even hit me till after he scored. I was like, wait a minute. You mean they finna get the ball back?
That was too easy.
Yeah, that was way too easy. Then I'm like, oh, okay. And you see how Carthage just military precision, just nobody panic. Everybody just boom, 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 get on the ball.
2 weeks in a row.
He just marched down and scored. I'll say this. If that was the weakest Carthage has ever been, I'll take that any day because them kids knew exactly what to do.
Yeah.
It's just that they made a mistake at the end. And I fear had they not made that mistake, Gilman was about to lose that game. But again, and that's why you play. That's why you play, because you don't know.
Well, I'm gonna say this, and no, this is not me being disrespectful, but you Gilmer fans,
it's disrespectful. Watch this.
You already
contradicted itself.
Y'all should be thanking God right now, that you guys were able to. No, I'm serious. They should be grateful.
Disrespectful rhetoric.
I mean, the part that got me was all right, no, I'll be serious and stop. So the part that got me was that when Carthage was able to, it's 44-36. They walked right down, back down the field and scored a touchdown. I'm sitting here and I have it on my phone a little bit. I was trying to peek over and look at it maybe a little bit to say, hey, let me look at this real quick, and then they get the 2-point conversion. So then I'm just like there's Carthage is gonna win this game. All of a sudden, Gilmer gets the ball. I was like, okay, this is perfect. Hold them to 3. Hold them to 3 because I do not want to have to apologize to these fans that absolutely berated every single Chapel Hill fan there was last year when they came to our place and they beat us 51-27. I do not want these fans to have a good moment. They get 3. They come out and they fumble the ball. And that would just I didn't know what to say about it.
I'm gonna say this.
They messed up.
This is more of an indictment at Carthage's defense. I thought Carthage has played way better defense than what they showed. I was very surprised to see Gilmer have as much success as they did, but I will give Gilmer the credit of this. I haven't seen them in empty as much as they were in empty, throwing the ball to Will Henderson out there playing receiver instead of being at, if you go back and you watch, if you go look at the stat sheets anyway of Gilmer's wins, Will Henderson's got like 100 yards, 150, 200 yards in almost all of these wins. Just traditional running the football But Carthage understood that the weakness right now, our offensive line isn't going to block these. I mean, Gilmore understood that our offensive line isn't going to block these guys, to spread them out and make them cover. And for them to effectively say, F the game plan, F what we've done all year, this is what we see on tape. This is what we see. This is where our advantages are. It really hats off to the Gilmore offensive staff. That was the first thing I could think of because they scored points all year long. They scored points on Chapel Hill. They scored points on dang near every single body that Gilmore has played. They've scored points on. But I was just more so shocked that Carthage could not get the stops. Gilmore looked unstoppable at times. And I was just very surprised that they could not get to stops. Caden Tennyson threw the ball as well as in a fourth-round playoff game as you can throw the football. There's a couple of passes. Go ahead.
And you know what's funny? A lot of people didn't think Caden Tennyson would do that. I'm serious. Literally, the one thing that was said going into last year and this year, he could not throw the ball as well as his brother.
Right.
That was the one thing that was said.
He probably still can. But he has played outside of this playoff run. If there's a playoff MVP of East Texas, obviously it's Terry Bussey because he throws and scores 18 touchdowns a game. So obviously it would be Terry Bussey. But if you took anybody other than Terry Bussey, how's the playoff MVP not Caden Tennyson? Because huge game against Aubrey, both throwing and running. He go in the second round. I mean, he's played phenomenal in every single week. Just hats off to their offensive staff and what they're doing. And that's why they have a chance in every game because they can score the football. Their defense is still an issue. I'm not going to act like that it's not. 44 points is still too many points at any round of the playoffs. You shouldn't be giving up that much if you want to consider yourself a state champion. So I don't know if they're going to win the whole thing. I'm rooting for them because they're from East Texas, obviously. But hats off to that offensive staff. Hats off to Caden Tennyson because the way he's played in the last 4 weeks, I'm impressed. I think he's played incredibly well.
Yeah, big shout out to Gilmer. Like at the end of the day, Gilmer, they did what they had to do. Finish, man. That's what I would say. Finish. Don't win that game in vain. Because, I mean, that's big. You may not get another chance like this because that kid is a sophomore. I'm pretty sure he's going to think about that fumble all the way till next year. Nobody is ever going to get another chance on him like that again. Yeah, you live with the coach. Like, honestly, this dude probably may not lose another game.
Take out the trash. It's going to be with your fumbling.
This might be the closest thing I've seen to – do y'all remember when Tim Tebow lost that one game? And then he sat there and cried on national TV, and he never lost again after that. He said he wasn't going to lose again. Like, this might be the closest thing to that. I don't think that kid going to lose another
I just think it was a week premature. I really thought Pleasant Grove was going to beat him. I really did going in. I've been saying this since the summertime. I thought that Pleasant Grove was going to beat Carthage when it came out of that round 3 game. And
I think we all said.
Yeah, and so for them to survive that week, they probably had a little letdown in practice. You had a physical game against Pleasant Grove. They probably didn't. Mm-hmm. They probably took their foot off the gas pedal just a little bit. I mean, there's got to be a woosah if you're the Carthage. Everybody in Carthage.
Well, everybody was telling me that was a state championship.
Yeah. And then the next week you play Gilmer, who Gilmer can't stop a nosebleed. They still can't. So you think going into the game, obviously, our defense just stopped, one of the most high-powered, D1 loaded offensive teams in East Texas. Yeah. Surely we can go out here and get a couple stops on Gilmer, but hats off to the Buckeyes, man. Just an incredible game.
And to think the disrespect Gilmer's gotten all year, and to think the disrespect they've gotten. No, the Gilmer football team is not the same. Man, it's not the same. If they're vulnerable,
man, I'm gonna say this about vulnerable. Let me address this, real quick. It ain't no disrespect when you giving up.
Yeah, I was just gonna say it's not disrespect when you giving up.
I was about to say when you giving up booty like that, you know what I'm saying? Like it ain't no disrespect. I'm sorry. Like back when they were saying that about Michelle, bro, they was averaging 40 on you. Like what do you want me to say? What do you want me to say? Y'all got the best defense in the district. You giving up 40.
Okay. Listen, their defense was ranked among teams that weren't even in the playoffs. That's how bad their defense was.
Yeah, so I applaud them for stepping up. That's what I'm gonna say, and finishing strong, and changing and making the adjustments you needed to make. But was they out there getting smacked around like a JV at times, as far as the defense was? Yeah, absolutely. I'm not taking that away at all because the numbers will tell you that. Numbers will tell you that all day.
Who that 3 losses are you?
All one that matters is Chapel Hill.
Chapel Hill, Pleasant Grove, Kilgore.
Those are 3 very good teams.
Those are 3 bad losses. Those are 3
bad. Not bad
losses.
No, but if you tell me I disrespected their defense, I'm like, where?
But I'm saying, but you got to understand though, they have a standard. You got to understand, there's a standard that they have, the expectation, and I don't want to say that. As media,
check this out.
As media and fans,
just to prove my point about what I'm talking about, Carthage got the ball with 1:49 left on the clock, and they marched.
They have an offensive standard.
Oh, I'm not disrespecting. I'm not.
You know what I'm saying? Like
I'm just, I'm adding a little wrinkle in the story.
You won.
I just want. There's never been a year where Gilmer's been defensively dominant.
Yeah.
You go back as far as you can think since 2000.
Go back as far as you want. They ain't got that.
I never played defense out of them.
It might be that they put all their best players on offense. I don't know. I remember a long time ago. That's how Corsicana used to be. They used to take their best players, put them on defense, so you couldn't score.
You know what? I'm gonna say this. Probably Gilmer's probably their last good year defensively was 2013. In my opinion, that was their last. I mean, you would have
man. That was 10 years ago.
I know it.
You were 8.
When you were 8 years old, how do you remember that?
Listen, y'all. I've been around Texas high school. I've been around Texas high school football all my life. It hadn't changed.
You was 8 in 2013. Oh man, Lord have mercy.
It's a good thing, bro. You young. It's good.
I'm talking to a child now.
Listen, that was when I got to Chapel Hill. I mean, we were going everywhere. I mean, I got to see
Chapel Hill.
I got to see. Oh, I was in TISD. I was watching John Tyler at the time.
Okay.
And I was watching him all the time. I got to see teams like Patrick, players like Patrick Mahomes. I got to see Pat play 4 times. And one of those games, he threw God knows how many interceptions, and they still won.
He was disrespectful in high school. Yeah.
Plus, I mean,
I don't care about no Pat Mahomes, man. Move on. Let's go.
Chapel Hill beat him.
Nah,
yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we kind of look at Gilmer, and I don't know that 4A Division II now. I mean, it's kind of open. I mean, I don't know.
No, it's not.
Well, I mean, you look at it. Glen Rose, the same team, and I don't want to get ahead, but Glen Rose. Same team that Carthage played last year that they went to the wire with Connor Cuff, Noah Petty, Montreal Haddon, all those guys they had last year. Now, is Gilmer that good offensively? I don't know. Maybe yes, maybe no. Like, they got great players. Brendan Webb is great. Tate is good. Will Henderson's a guy. Caden Tennyson obviously has played well in this playoff run. Are they good enough to score with Glen Rose? The biggest thing for Gilmer, and it's always going to be with Gilmer, is can they stop somebody? Because they probably should have lost if they don't fumble that game. Carthage is going to score a touchdown. They're playing Glen Rose.
Score again. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's always going to come down to defense when we talk about Gilmer. Can they score? Heck yeah. They can score, and I think they will score against Glen Rose. So which defense is going to get to stop? I know one group that gave up 71 points this year, and I know another group that didn't. So I don't know, and I ain't trying to pick a winner or not, but that's always going to be the question when it comes to Gilmer is can they stop this other team enough to win a game? Because I think they can score. I think they've done a great job. Like I said, I think Caden Tennyson is a playoff MVP other than guys not named Terry Bussey. So,
They may have the best athletes as far as teams go that are left. Wimberley down there, they're not one of those teams that's going to, have great athletes. They're going to have a good game plan and solid team. And then of course Belleville is just that scheme is what they kind of rely on. So I don't know. I think they got as good a chance as anybody. I mean, they come into play and the defense gets enough stops, like you said. I think they have a very good chance.
I will say this. We talked about Chapel. Sorry, not Chapel. We talked about Carthage potentially losing to somebody. Belleville was the team, in my opinion. I said this would be the first year when they got past PG last. I said this would be the first year because I saw what Belleville did to Silsby. I don't know if y'all watched that game, but it was bad. It was pretty bad. I said that this is going to be the first year Scott Surratt loses in the state title game because I said there was nobody that was going to be able to beat them going forward, and I was wrong.
What about Glen Rose?
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. What about Glen Rose?
Yeah, so I actually did a lot of research on them, and when I saw it, I was just kind of like, I don't think they have the team anymore to take Carthage to the wire again because they were vulnerable like Carthage was this year. But that's probably gonna be the matchup. Belleville and Glen Rose.
Disrespect continues.
Kyle, you got anything that you want to add to this game, the Carthage and Gilmer game? Did you get to catch any highlights?
I mean, I saw a little bit. First of all, what's up, fellas? How's everybody?
What's up?
How you doing, man?
What's happening?
Awesome. No, I didn't see much of it other than kind of what I saw on TV. But from what I heard of people at the game, like it was, I kind of touched on this earlier today when we had our Beast from the East show. That I think what happened with Carthage is they played up so high. There was so much hype around that Pleasant Grove game that after that PG game, it was just a drop off, and Gilmer caught them at the right time. Do I think Gilmer is a better team than Carthage? No, I do not. But they caught Carthage at the right time. We talked about it all year. That Brett, you were the main person of it. Hey, Carthage, they can get got this year, and they got, but it wasn't by who we thought. So, but shout out to Gilmer, man. Gilmer,
I think PG helped Gilmer. I think they're the ones that kind of gave them everything.
They softened Carthage up a little bit.
And then they just weren't unfortunately for them, and I feel for them. They got to be thinking, man.
Wait. I don't think I can buy that. I don't think they softened them. And the reason why I say this is Gilmer has scored all year long. Gilmer has never had a problem scoring the football, right? And
defensively.
Well, I was just thinking
it's always been a defensive issue with them.
They softened mentally. Is where I was going.
I'll get you. Okay, all right. I thought you.
You know what? Here's the thing. I think Gilmer almost gave up 35 to 40 points a game.
No, I wouldn't have bad.
I don't know if I'm correct on that, but I mean, just saying. I know there was a lot of games this year where they gave up a lot of points, like when they played. When they played Lindale.
It's Eddie when you need it.
I think it was honestly, to me, it was the hype of the game. It was the state championship. Everyone was just, all the people were selling it, and the whole thing. And then it's like they got there, put everything into it, and they were able to come back and win. And it was like,
because like everybody was saying,
or maybe they just got beat.
Maybe
they just matched up against the team, and Gilmer got better. And they said, you know what? It's my team against your team.
Stop it. Because Surratt don't fumble that ball, that Carthage is going to win that game. So don't do that.
Corey, it could have been the Barely in theory, Corey.
They could play that game 10 more times, and I promise you, you will get the same outcome all 10, and it won't have nothing to do with Gilmer.
What were we expecting after the PG Carthage game? Whoever wins that game is going to the state championship game.
I thought that's what we. I thought they were going to beat the crap out of Gilmer. I thought they were going to dog them.
And for Gilmer to step up against against a Carthage defense that I was just it shocked me when I saw the score.
Yeah, I'm already taking my hat off. I'm bald headed, so I thought they did a good job, man. Hats off to Gilmer, man. They did a great job. They won the game, but I mean, let's not act like Carthage is just in some deep dismal place. Like they didn't just pretty much fumble the game away. I was shocked that their defense gave up as much as they did, but I think it shouldn't be a big of a shock because Gilmer is good on offense. And Pleasant Grove did expose them to some weaknesses that they had on defense, I think, the week before. And I think Gilmer tried to exploit some of that by going empty and throwing the ball as much as they did out of that formation a little bit and throwing it to Will Henderson and stuff like that. So, hats off to the Buckeyes. They did a great job. They won. And it's just like the NCAA tournament, man. Ain't no second, ain't no redos. Well, Cinderella's, there ain't no way they could beat the number 1 seed if they play them in a 7-game series, right? But shoot, you don't have to. Just got to get them that one time. So hats off to the Buckeyes.
So 2 teams that beat Gilmer this year played in Game 4, Kilgore and Chapel Hill. And if it wasn't for the crazy, thrilling ending of the Carthage-Gilmer game, this probably would have been the best game of the weekend. As Chapel Hill scores 21 points in the first quarter and does not score the rest of the game and wins with their defense, fellas. 21-19. And man, I picked this game for Chapel Hill, a 1-score game, and I was right, but this is not how I would have imagined it going and playing out. And 3 of you guys were there, and the other 2 of you guys watched the entire game. I finally got to watch the rest of the game over the last couple of days. Give me your thoughts from being there at the game. We have our for those that you don't know, we have our call made the top 10 of Texan Live plays of the week, number 2. So Christian, Keith, and Spence's call of the crazy touchdown catch there in the fourth quarter. But guys, tell them what you thought there live.
Well, listen, before we get into that, man, as far as coaches are concerned with Chapel Hill, the MVP of the game was Coach Johnny Irvin. I mean, what the offense coordinator? He's the offense coordinator at Chapel Hill. He was unbelievable. He opened up the playbook like you saw some plays that Chapel Hill hadn't ran all year. And you know what, that's just something that we barely. I just didn't expect that to happen. I expected Chapel Hill to win because I thought that Kilgore was kind of going to go into this game and say,
Hey, get him out of check. We don't need the negativity there.
Yeah, hey, yeah, get that off.
Well, y'all don't want to hear me talk then, because I got something for that.
But I just went into this game and I said, you know what? I think Chapel Hill is probably going to win this in 17-14. How about that? No, 21-19. Now, me and Spencer Whitman, we all saw the Jaden Sanders play where he caught it between 3 defenders and he drugged Javen Mayfield to the end zone. And I didn't want to say this, but it was kind of a shame for Kilgore because that was a bad way for them to lose, especially number 6 dropping the ball wide open in the end zone. I mean, that was that. And you know what? I don't even like Kilgore, and that hurt me. That hurt me.
Disrespectful like
So
that.
that hurt me. Like you don't.
It was like family.
Yeah,
it was like family. Come on, man.
But you know what?
No bad blood with Kilgore.
I think you know.
Oh man.
But you know what? I think that game was probably. It was just a game that Chapel had to make a stand. And you know what? The other person who was kind of the guy who got the other part of the MVP. I know he doesn't like me very much anymore. I mean, I said what I said after the Lindale game, and I really don't mind. But you know what? I hope we're past that, sir. Man, how about Craig McFarland? What a job he did. I mean, and what a job he's been doing all postseason. I mean, their defense has really stepped up. I was kind of the guy after the Lindale game who I was just like, wow, their defense couldn't get off the field. They tried to get their offense on the field and they couldn't. And when they did, for some odd reason, some good play would happen. Like, say, for example, Ricky Stewart ran a 70-some yard touchdown twice in that game. So I kind of took, I criticized Chapel Hill's defense a little bit, and that's just something that I don't do sometimes. But I did it then, and that exact person got mad at me for doing that. But hey, I hope we're good, man, because you've done a good job. So good job.
You better screen record this and send it to him. That's the only way y'all gonna be good after this.
I'm gonna talk to him when I get there Friday, and I'm gonna tell him good job.
Christian, I actually have something to ask you from Coach McFarland. He wants to know, how about that number one defense from Kilgore in the state?
Yeah, they're not number one anymore. And you know what? I think that what Coach Irvin did was he basically just said, okay, I think this defense coming into this game think that they're just gonna sit up here and think that, oh, we're just the same team that we were in week 11. That wasn't the case. That Chapel Hill exposed Kilgore's defense. Now, no, did they score after halftime? They didn't. But
what is this exposure? I'm sorry. I tried to be quiet and wait till you finish.
Here we go.
What is this exposure? They scored three times in the first half, and they didn't
alert everybody.
Offense for the rest of the game. You watched the same game together.
Yeah, we did.
So what? I am. My mind is blown right now.
Okay, hold on. All right, hold on, Spence. Hold on.
Where's my cup at? Where's my cup? Spence, what you got? I want some too.
I just wait till it's my turn. Y'all right. Let them get it off. Let them get it off. I just wait till it's my turn. I got you.
I pride myself on trying to be in the middle of the road. So I see what you're saying. And that did kind of worry me because we watched the game, and when the game was over, we kind of talked after the fact, and I said, man,
Bob, I thought I was the one drinking. I didn't understand.
I think he's drinking over there.
Here's the thing. I'll probably say this. The only reason why I'm giving so much credit to the offense is because I give credit to both sides, but it's just what Coach Irvin was able to do with their offense the whole game, to be honest. I mean,
what school you graduate from?
Hey,
Chapel Hill.
Let me see if I can help him a little bit, Spence. From what I saw, though, overall, Chapel Hill moved the ball better than Kilgore overall in the game. Maybe that's what I'm saying. They got the ball farther, and they moved the ball and controlled the field, and were able to force Kilgore. They had a couple of big plays, but as far as the ball control, they did a really good job of that. Something they weren't able to do the first matchup. That's from what I saw in the game. I saw they were able to get 3, 4, 5 yard chunk runs up the middle even sometimes, and they weren't able to do that in the first matchup. Now, as far as scoring goes, I think Chapel Hill struck them early. Kilgore made some adjustments to me, but then they weren't able to. The defense of Chapel Hill was able to play well enough to kind of hold them in. Minus a couple of plays, the over the top. If they don't drop the touchdown pass, we'll be talking about a different score. But I mean, from what
we're probably talking
that about touchdown pass doesn't matter because they scored after that. The touchdown pass is irrelevant. 2-point conversion. They scored regardless.
Yeah, it's on the same drive, the same touchdown.
Yeah, it's.
But like I said,
probably the onside kick that may have changed.
The onside kick, they had the onside kick. They were just offsides. They got it back. They just were offsides twice. So they had a chance at the end of the game. That's the thing. Like, and shout out to Coach McFarland because he came up to me up at the game and he asked me. He said, "Who'd you pick?" I said, "Come on, Coach." He said, "Who'd you pick?" I said, "I picked Kilgore." He said, "By how much?" I said, by 10. He said, that's all I needed, and walked to the sideline. And that defense played fired up all night. And I know you're shouting out the offense, Christian. Defense won that game. And how many times this year can we say the Chapel Hill defense won the football game for them?
Right.
I think this is the first time.
It's the first time.
So shout out to Coach McFarland in the Chapel Hill defense. They played their tails off Friday night against a very good Kilgore team. And Kilgore is still a very good football team. Like, I think, me personally, I think the winner of that Kilgore Chapel Hill game is representing in-state. That's what I think.
Yep.
So I think Chapel Hill will make it there. But
can I address something real quick before you continue? Listen, I guys, you know my number one rule when I got on this show, I said I was going to be neutral. I was going to be unbiased. I wasn't going to root for anybody, even though I root for Chapel Hill very quietly. I wasn't going to do any of that. But because of one certain person from San Antonio, Texas, who sat up at the San Antonio, Davenport and Calhoun game and said they don't care which Bulldog it was, Kilgore or Chapel Hill Bulldog, they didn't care. They said that this San Antonio Davenport team was coming. And then on Monday, I get a message from somebody saying, hey, Davenport's commentators said that this would be a 45-10 ball game. So, listen, guys, I don't know. Sometimes I forget who watches this show sometimes, and to be honest with you, I don't care who watches this show just as long as we get viewers. Listen, Davenport, I just want to let y'all know something. Y'all hadn't played a team like Chapel all year, all right?
Let's not get you far ahead.
Wait.
I won't get you far ahead on Davenport.
Let me finish.
Let me get off, man. I want to hear this.
Let me finish because I need to get this off my chest. Y'all have not played a team like Chapel Hill all year. The teams that you have beaten have really had. I've looked at every single team that y'all have beaten. Y'all have not beaten anybody. Okay?
Christian, listen. Yes, Stop right now. Because you ain't finna gas them up and get us jinxed. No, man. No, you can't do that. You can't do that, Christian.
He's been muted.
We still got to play them. You could talk. You could talk afterwards, after the game. But before the game, don't do that. Don't do that.
He said he's
because he's doing the same thing. He's been doing the same thing.
I'm sorry. Wait a minute.
Hey,
that was the funniest thing I've seen in chat ever since we've been doing this. Now, I'm not going. First of all, I'm not gonna say too much because you said Chapel was gonna lose to Davenport, Bumpy, and so I'm not gonna. I've been rooting for Dangerfield all year, but I'm gonna get on that. Right now, it's about this. All right. First of all, shout out to Kilgore. I mean to say this. Shout out to Kilgore. No disrespect to them. We never had no beef with Kilgore. I love both communities came out, had a good game. Both teams played hard. I love it. Anytime Chapel Hill got into a fight, either Chapel Hill Kilgore versus somebody else. There's always going to be Kilgore and Chapel Hill, no matter what. I don't care what happens. So I love that. Now we got this little rivalry thing going. It's even better because White House don't want to play us. So, but I love the fact that this game was played and it was a big game. Shout out to Derek Williams is quarterback, right? Number the quarterback.
Yes,
I think it was Derek Williams. Yeah. Like the Kyler Murray clone. Listen, hold on. Where was he at? Well, y'all could have used him the past 2 years. Like, why is he in the depth chart? Like, why wouldn't he? Because he was making plays. He was making plays.
I do that.
It's like, yeah, I'm just saying the kid was making plays.
He was doing his thing. I'm surprised that he played second string tailback last year. And
second string and third, yeah.
A second or third, I don't know because I don't remember him playing last year. And
right,
I mean,
he was
dope, man. Like he really is dope. I'm not gonna lie, he dope.
Yeah, I like this game. Like that was, I don't know if it would have changed versus the other quarterback playing in the game.
I
don't know
say
if,
something
that
real quick. I don't want to cut you off,
Yeah.
but what's the homeboy name that caught that pass at the end? Sanders?
Yeah, Jaden
I
Sanders.
didn't say it on Friday, but sir, you get a salute from me because that was a grown man play. Like,
absolutely.
You caught a pass and then drug one of our best players 10 yards into the end zone. I'm like, how?
He said, I want
How?
that. He said, I
But
want
he
that.
wanted it.
He's
And when
6'2",
he touched it,
205.
I need
That's
it.
why. It's a big dude, man.
But man,
Grown
the
man
dude we
hands.
had on him, is a grown man. That's what made me think, like, what
One was a little bit
going
more
on out
game.
here?
Yeah.
He's a little
But
more
I'm-
grown. Okay.
I mean,
But
we
shout
were
out to him because I don't think he got any credit for he did. They put him on the
deserved all the
deal
credit.
for the highlight. Yeah, because that was a dope play.
Here's the
That was
thing.
a dope play.
I thought that after, because I thought Kilgore was going to get 2-point conversion. I said Chapel was going to have to walk back down this field and kick a field goal and win this game. Because that's what my initial thought. I was like, that's what's probably going to happen. They're going to get this 2-point conversion. Because they were, I think that was Jaden Sanders again that they were trying to target, and I think Kendall Allen knocked the ball down.
Yeah, he got a hand on it too.
So
yeah,
that's what my initial thought was. I was like, they're gonna get this 2-point conversion, and I said Chapel is gonna have to run the clock to where they can kick the field goal, and then they're gonna kick the field goal and win the game. That's what. I mean, I don't really know what to say about it. I mean, it just
before
it got to that play. Because I was thinking this. Before it got to that play, I'm gonna say this. Before it got to that point, there's certain points of the game. There's some people saying, "Oh, the game was fishy." Man, you can flip a coin. There was missed calls all the way around the game. You got misplays, miscues, or whatever. It's both. At the end of the day, there was something that Chapel Hill took personally, and it was the defense. And I said that, I remember saying this all year long. I said there was another level that Chapel Hill hadn't tapped into defensively, offensively. I said, they got that. You don't have that many players on the team that don't make good plays. Like, eventually, they got to step up. Your defense and those guys got to step up. They stepped up. Like, that's a big boy game. Whether it be on any division at all, that was a big boy game for those guys.
Ever since you called them out, Corey.
And I'm gonna keep calling them out because they got to continue to keep doing it because it doesn't stop. And it's no disrespect, but we want them to play. We want them to play that level all the time. Your opponent keep disrespecting you. You got to stop them at that point. Y'all know what it is.
Something I noticed on the 2-point conversion, guys, and I don't know if you saw it live, but when I was watching it, Trevor Brooks looked like he was offsides on that play.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys watched it. Like,
he was
getting off the rock all night.
Me and Corey was talking about that earlier. We was like, man, listen, and that's when I said there was calls missed on both sides. I don't really care about the whistle. It just, you just got to be able to play up to what's required on the field.
Because when I saw it,
and forget about the refs.
I saw it the first time live.
I was like, he was offsides or he was hella early.
But you know what? There's another play. So after that failed 2-point conversion, a lot of people are still talking about that onside kick. A lot of people are still talking about that. They were like, I don't know if he was offsides.
He was.
I don't know. You know what? I think he went a little, and it was close. If you go back and look at it, it's close. I think he was offsides, but for anybody who was on that yard line, I think they can make a good case. It's close. It was close. I mean, it was really, really close.
From where I was sitting at in the booth, I thought it was outside from the jump.
Yeah, because you were.
My man Town said he wasn't offside.
Yeah.
I was watching and I heard him screaming back and forth. He wasn't outside. I don't know. And honestly, I don't care. We got out of there. Thank God we got out of there.
Put my Chapel Hill Villain hat on
team. Y'all are a hella tough team. I appreciate you.
Absolutely.
But we're gonna go on and we're gonna rep. Yeah, we're gonna rep the district for everybody. So yeah.
Appreciate Jerome coming back. Appreciate Jerome, Mr. Towns coming back.
Can I put some Chapel Hill people off real quick?
Go ahead. Come on with it.
Look,
come on with it.
That one-dimensional style offense.
Hey, now. Hey.
Wow.
Hold on.
I am coming from personal experience.
Hold on, Longview.
I am coming from personal experience about one-dimensional
okay.
offense.
I just want to make
So
sure.
slow down.
Because
Slow down.
you're looking in the mirror now.
Which is why I'm telling you right now.
Okay. All right.
Enough.
All right. Okay. I feel you.
The best formation that they had was quads to the field, and they were trying to run inside zone just by widening everything out, and it worked. And they were moving sticks, but it was literally bend but don't break. I know James Square said Gilmer has a bend but don't break defense, and I laughed at it, but I didn't want to say nothing about it too much. But Kilgore really has the bend but don't break defense. Kilgore lost that game offensively.
Mm-hmm.
Derek Williams, and I hate to call out a kid. That's the worst thing to do in the world. But he didn't have a very strong game. He didn't throw the ball accurately at all. He looked rusty. He looked like he had took a week off. And not say took it a week off, but you could tell he didn't play in the week before because he was overthrowing people by miles. He just didn't look comfortable. And I remember me and Chris talking about it during the game that his arm strength is there, but he is not hitting these receivers, and they are slowing the offense down by trying to throw this ball as much as they were throwing it. I think he had
Cameron Kelly.
They couldn't run it.
No excuses, but they did say that he had suffered some type of wrist injury or something.
And arm strength wasn't the problem.
But I ain't giving no excuses to it.
An arm strength wasn't the problem. He wasn't hitting these guys.
Yeah, he wasn't.
You go back and you look at the stats. I think they had maybe 13 or 14 incomplete passes. Mm-hmm. He didn't play at his best. Now, if Chapel Hill is going to play a team that can throw the football, they're going to be in trouble.
Davenport's
and then they can play a team that can stop the run. I'm going to tell you another thing.
I don't want to think about that, Spence. I don't want to think about that right now.
That's cool. I know you don't. I'm the villain right now. I'm cool with that. Dylan Jones is an outstanding offensive lineman. But the other four are not. I'm just going to keep it a buck with you. The other four are not outstanding. That team can be stopped on the ground. That team can be stopped on the ground, and they are going to have to throw the football in order to win a state championship. And I don't know if I have the trust in Brisbane based off what I watched last week. And I don't even know if the coaches have the faith in Brisbane to throw the football. But keep it a buck. It's an entire year. When he throws it, you better hope Cameron Kelly just goes and be 6'6" and brings it down on top of everybody. Like it's not. Listen, and I've seen him with Deuce McGregor. I've seen him with Tyson Berry. When he's got guys that's running by people and they're obviously wide open, he can put it out there and they can catch it. But obviously, they are not that confident in his own ability.
Well, I will say
five passing attempts. That should let you know that they're not that confident in him throwing the football. I don't know if they're good enough.
I agree with you, though. I'm
just saying.
Me and Corey had a conversation off air where I said exactly what you were saying. But I'm gonna say this though: if we don't run up against a team that know how to stop what we can do well, it's smooth sailing.
Yeah, obviously. If you normally do, then yeah, for sure.
Yeah. And I think with
this team, you're gonna run into that issue. And they are as one-dimensional as long.
You're right.
So that's a mirror. I'm looking at it.
What did we say? What we say earlier today? I said, "Hey, if we run into that situation where we got to throw the football, we in trouble." But we just ain't had that situation happen yet.
There's another problem with it as well when you got Kilgore. And Kilgore, to me, I didn't like how they attacked. I'm not going to criticize them, but I didn't like how they attacked. But listen, I'm just not convinced on Chapel Hill after watching them live for the first time.
Dang. Well, okay. So here's the thing.
I'm not that confident.
If they get to the state championship game, more like, and I'm not trying to jump ahead of myself, but they're probably going to play.
You're lying with Bumpy. Bumpy don't think we can get past. Bumpy don't think we can get past anybody.
But let me ask you though. Okay, were you not impressed with the defense?
Taking notes.
Not really. I was more disappointed.
The defense was great.
I'm keeping it a buck with you. I was more disappointed.
I know. I'm just asking.
I was more disappointed in Derek Williams and how he played in the second and third quarter than I was impressed with how Chapel Hill's defense played.
Okay.
I'm just telling you how that goes.
Because honestly,
I'm gonna tell you,
Kilgore ran the ball as effectively as Chapel Hill did. They just chose not to sometimes.
Yeah.
And you know what?
Like, whether it was the freshman Rayshawn Williams, number 12, whether it was number 15, the senior, the big power back, they averaged 4 to 5 yards a carry, just like Chapel Hill.
And
here's the thing. You know, it's real. Like, we know each other so well. Like, yeah.
He just didn't throw the ball well because those receivers were open. PJ Wiley was open. James Sanders could have did that all game long if they wanted to. Even Towns is a very good. Like, offensively, that was the more balanced team. Derek Williams just didn't play well. And you can give credit to Chapel Hill defense if you want. I'm telling you, I just thought that the boy just didn't play a great game.
So you think that if he would have played well, they would have won?
Absolutely.
So I'm curious.
It was 21 points in the first quarter, and they ended the game with 21 points. I was at Longview, and we had 24 points at halftime, and we ended the game with 24, and we didn't win the game. If you don't score in the second, third, and fourth quarter, you deserve to lose the game. So that's why it blew my mind that you gave the offensive coordinator credit, because they didn't score again after the first quarter.
I'm just saying he opened up. Okay. I'm gonna say this.
Do you get credit for opening up or scoring?
Me and Keith Whitman, when we were driving to the game, we were saying.
I said I'm done with it.
I've been chilling.
When me and Keith Whitman, when we were driving to the game, we said Chapel is going to have to open up their playbook a little bit more, whether that's in the passing game or whether that's in the running game. And I'm just saying there were some plays. I'm not saying that the defense wasn't great. They were great. But what I'm saying is that they opened up the offense more than what they've done all year. That's what I'm saying. Like, say, for example, you remember that one play?
Christian, that's not anything abnormal. You don't.
I don't think
you always open your playbook up the longer the season goes.
Honestly, I'm gonna say this: it ain't that much of a compliment if we didn't score. So
second, third, and
we
fourth
opened up the
quarter,
playbook and we still didn't score in 3 quarters. That ain't a compliment.
You're not
I'm gonna say this.
I'm just saying they were able in some running.
I'm gonna add to that. I want to add to that today.
Run the ball better than Kilgore.
I don't think they opened up the playbook. I think they saw some advantages they had, and they may have changed the formations. I don't think they opened up the play. They may have saw they had a game plan to what they were doing.
The same schemes, just out of different formations.
So Spence, I'm gonna say this: the reason why a lot of time what we feel, I'm just gonna tell you, I'm gonna give credit's due. Reason why we feel differently about this. We're comparing from the first game that they played. You didn't see the first game they played.
Oh, you're right. This is my first comparison. You're absolutely right.
Exactly. So the comparison to us watching them this game, the defense really showed up because the first game it was almost a no-show, and Kilgore played a completely different style of play.
I mean,
they were smash mouth, and then Chapel Hill brought it.
And Chapel Hill this time. If Derek Williams don't throw the ball 23 times, and they hand that ball off a couple more times. It's a different result to me.
But my question was this: when did they have a 10-yard run? When did they have a 7-yard run?
Rayshawn Williams was telling me
he was saying they were averaging about 3 to 4 yards. What they were doing? They were averaging 3 to 4 yards.
I don't think they were running the football as effective as Chapel Hill. They're throwing the football most definitely.
I mean, it's easy to say that when Chapel Hill throws 5 passing attempts. It's easy to remember that they only ran the ball. But Kilgore, I'm keeping it up with you. If they didn't throw it as much as they did,
do what brought you to the dance. I mean,
because that's fair. That's fair. I'm just trying to. I'm thinking. I'm just kind of going reviewing over the game.
I agree with you, Spence. I don't disagree with what you're saying.
Listen. Ricky Stewart had 29 carries. Ricky Stewart had 29 carries. Dabo had 14 carries, and Demetrius Brisbane had 14 carries. There were 5 passing attempts at that game.
449 yards on the ground. I think that's why they probably ran a lot.
No, and I'm cool with that. I'm cool with that. But you didn't get any points after the first quarter.
Yeah.
What do you? Okay, let me ask you a question.
Technically, it did. It was one of them got called back.
In a way, it's empty calories. It's empty calories.
What do you think? What do you think is going to be the result this Friday? This Friday against Davenport.
I don't know a thing about Davenport, so I can't tell you who's going to win or lose.
Well, I will say
I ain't watched the snap of them. And because they're not in East Texas, I don't care. So I'm rooting for Chapel Hill, and I want them to win. But I'm telling you this: as an undefeated team, the record means a lot to me. If you're undefeated, if you're finding ways to win games all year long, it does not bode well facing a one-dimensional team.
Well, they weren't undefeated. They lost 3 games.
Oh, Davenport's lost 3 games?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, then never mind. We'll see what happens. My bad. I thought Davenport was undefeated.
I mean, they're good.
I don't know anything about Davenport.
Yeah.
They're a good passing team. They have they have some tall receivers.
Okay.
That's what they're facing.
I'm interested to know. Let's let Kyle. He was there. I want to know what Kyle saw because as I value his expertise there. He was on the sideline. Kyle, tell us what you saw. I know you didn't get to finish
water,
earlier.
by the way. Bumpy, this is water. This ain't vodka. This is water.
Oh,
jug of water.
Anyway, I think the key to the game really was Kilgore jumping on Chapel Hill jumping on Kilgore early. They got out. They got 2 quick touchdowns. They got up 14. Kilgore has the offense that they can play from behind, but the way that Chapel Hill's defense was playing that last Friday night, they didn't need to be behind. They either needed to be even or ahead of Chapel Hill to stay with Chapel Hill. Talking about Jerome Towns, his son Javon Towns, stud, absolute dog. He is real good. So,
and you know what?
Junior or senior?
Hold on, Christian. I've done let all y'all talk. Hold on. The Towns is really good. Kilgore had a chance at the end of the game. He's talking about they were running the football. Chapel Hill was running the hell out of the football, but they scored 21 early and couldn't score again after that. That's a credit to Kilgore's defense. They made some adjustments, but Ricky Stewart was running like a man possessed. He ran differently in that game last Friday night than he did the first time they played Kilgore. It was just it was just different. Something was different about him. I don't know if he was running pissed off. I don't know what was going on, but he was toting the rock, was Ricky Stewart. So, I think Chapel Hill did what they needed to do. Like I said earlier, shout out to Chapel Hill's defense, because if you score 21 points early and don't score the rest of the game, just like Spence said, you usually don't win those kind of games. Right. So shout out to Chapel Hill's defense. Kilgore had a chance at the end of the game, and unfortunately for them, they just missed a 2-point conversion. But the game lived up to the hype. Round 2 between Kilgore and Chapel Hill absolutely lived up to the hype. And Davenport's not even in San Antonio; it's in Como County. Shout out, Professor Diggs.
Professor Diggs he gave us a geography lesson.
Well, I will say this: the one thing that we do know about Davenport, I think they're only a 4-year school. 4-year team. They've only had 2 varsity seasons, I think, but they do have a good passing game for what I was looking at. They really can't run the ball that well. They really can't run the ball that well. So I think that Chapel Hill, if they try to run the ball, and then Chapel's going to have success at stopping that. But what Chapel's probably going to look out for is those RPO plays, those over the top plays where, hey, quarterback just pulls it, snaps it, pulls it. Hey, fun tight end over the top. That's something that they have to watch out for. But other than that, this should be a good game.
And we could talk about. Go ahead, Corey.
I'm done saying this. Their head football coach was the OC at Bernie for almost 20 years. Oh, so he's got some friends at Bernie. I'm pretty sure they're gonna have a cup of coffee about the game. You already know how that's going.
Well, and we could talk about the Kilgore game and the next week's game all day long, but let's get to our 6th game on our pick.
We got another game? Dang.
Yeah.
6 games?
Game 6. It wasn't much of a game as the Cough ran away with one over Winsboro. Guys, I was really surprised of this one. I picked Malakoff, but I thought that it would be a very competitive game. I feel bad for the Finneys. I know there was a great run for Winsboro, a great season. But they just ran into a monster in the Cough, and not to give a spoiler, but I think Malakoff, I think they had a chance to move on to state this year. I think they get their revenge against Brock if they come out and play. But 58-20 over Winsboro, guys. That's impressive. It's how big of a blowout Winsboro's been putting on everybody, for Malakoff to dominate them like that was impressive.
So I'm gonna be honest with you guys. So I had two guys from Winsboro actually come visit in Tyler. I'm not sure why they were there, but they actually came up to my job. And I just asked them because they did play football, and I asked them. I said, "Hey guys, what went into y'all's mindset, going into that game?" And they were like, "We went in thinking this was going to be, we could just go back and forth with these guys, and they weren't able to do that. They weren't able to stop Malakoff offensively." I mean, you're talking about Malakoff, who has one of the top offenses in the state.
Who's their quarterback?
Who?
Mike Jones.
Who?
Oh, okay. Sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, but
He was
I
born
think
in 05. He don't get that reference. It's okay.
Oh, this don't take a slap. I knew you was gonna bring that up. I knew that was gonna bring that up. Oh no, oh, man.
I'll give you a
Tell me
little
your age.
fist
You got
bump
to tell
over
me
the
your
camera.
age. Was Mike Jones number?
But no, I just, they were just like, after halftime, they were just out of it. They just told the truth. They were like, they were just out of it at halftime. And, I felt kind of bad for those guys because they almost sounded in that moment defeated. And, I know that feeling, and I'm sure Spence knows it. I'm pretty sure they made the playoffs a bunch of times in Longview.
I ain't never got my butt kicked 58-20. Watch how you hold me, fam.
Listen, I got my butt
I ain't
kicked
never got
35-0.
fam.
I got my butt kicked 35-0 last year in San Antonio. So, I mean it's, it is what it is. And Brett, I'm gonna agree with you. I got Malakoff going to state this year. I think they're gonna get their payback on Brock by 1 point.
Ooh, 1 point. Okay.
By 1 point. 28-27.
Kyle, you followed Winsboro a lot. How surprised were you of the margin of this loss?
I was surprised. I thought I picked Winsboro, but that was because it was a homer pick. I had a feeling Malakoff would win. I didn't think it would be like that, though. I know Winsboro has ran into Malakoff at least last year.
When you saw Malakoff as well, too.
Malakoff's really good. Yeah, I saw him against Mount Vernon. They're big. They're huge up front. And they have athletes all over the field. What's it? Chauncey Hogg, I believe, is an outside corner for them that's locked down. He's really good. Mike Jones, the quarterback, obviously, but they got athletes all over the place. Malakoff is an extremely good football team, but Winsboro is too. And for Malakoff to beat a good Winsboro team the way they did handle them like that, I see no reason Malakoff will not be in Arlington next week. So that's what I got.
I think I might be the biggest Kyler Finney fan in the group. I thought Kyler Finney was the best quarterback coming back in East Texas. I think he probably had the best year from talking about playing the quarterback position, throwing the football and running the football as well as he did this year. I think it just shows you just how important the trenches are. And that was one of our coaches, one of my coworkers went to the game because he's good friends with Finney. They had worked together previously before, and he said, man, when they got off the bus, he knew what time it was because they were so much bigger. He said it was just ridiculous, the size difference in between the offensive and defensive lines. He said and the crazy thing about it, Finney and them knew they weren't going to stop them going into the game. And when you notice you can't stop somebody going into the game, it just doesn't bode well for you. Even if your offense is as good as Winsboro's has been in the past, or in this whole year anyway, not just the past, just this year. When you can't stop the other team,
it takes a perfect effort, and then they have to mess up.
Perfect, man. And there's no way they didn't match up athletically. It's just they got as much as they could get out of that group of players, and that's what I will give them credit for at Winsboro. I mean, 72 points in like 2 weeks in a row in the playoffs is incredible. You're getting the max amount of those kids, but Malakoff is just they should be playing 5A football as good as they are. Like they could go. I
don't know about that one.
If they played in the Texas High Pine Tree District, they'd be second or third.
Size wise, they could compete with 5As. They are huge. Like they should not be a 3A.
That's what I'm saying. If you put Malakoff in the Texas High Pine Tree Mount Pleasant District, they'd be second place to Texas High.
Wait. Isn't Kyle? I don't know if you know this. Is there a chance Malakoff could go up to 4A next year?
I have no earthly idea. I don't know what the cutoff numbers are.
So, obviously they have Dave Campbell Texas football. They were talking about a lot of teams moving up and a lot of teams moving down, and there's just a lot of shockers with it. Some I don't agree with. Like they got Duncanville moving down to 5A, and I don't know for what. Like that's just stupid.
DeSoto, not Duncanville.
It's DeSoto's got.
Whoever one of them is stupid. Like why would you even? DeSoto's gonna be dominant every single year if you do that.
I mean, it's based off enrollment, dog. If they ain't got that many kids in the school, you gotta play where you play it.
Yeah. Why would you want to play up? I don't understand why, unless it's for travel purposes. There are some schools that.
Why would you play down?
Well, LBJ did that a couple years ago. They moved up to 5A instead of that 4A D1 because of travel. Like they were having to travel ridiculous
That's another
amount.
team that may be moving down. LBJ again. They may be
they are.
back down.
I think they are going to be moving back down.
And according to Dave Campbell's Texas football mock realignments, Malakoff's still 3A D1.
There you go.
Okay.
And they got him in a district with Grandview, so that would be fun.
They're going to stay in the district with Grandview again.
Maybe. These are just mock realignments. Anything can happen.
Yeah.
Like Grandview's elements.
Hey, Bump T, I wouldn't take no more shots. No more shots of whatever. I mean, I know y'all think I've been drunk the entire night, but
yeah.
I'm surprised nobody done popped up on the comment.
He said drunk, man.
As of right now, Longview is the smallest school in 6A with a cutoff at 2280. Which is just
would y'all be in Legacy's district?
Oh, of course.
I'm sure. I mean, we both in East Texas in 6A, so I'm sure we would be in their district like
30 miles apart. That'd be the closest.
I'm not going to be disrespectful, but I don't think we're too much worried about where Legacy lines up at.
Man, the disrespect is spreading. I love it.
It's not, like,
there we go. Hey,
it was subtle. It was subtle. It really was.
Subtle.
It was
That's
subtle.
okay. It's okay, Spence.
But I got
it's only been 18 times in a row.
Yeah. So we're gonna play this clip. It'll be in Legacy's locker room all next year.
I mean,
it's
that's fine.
18 times in a row.
I mean,
it's only been 18 times in a row.
On senior night,
they need as much bulletin board material as they can get. They ain't gonna get it from me. But I'm just saying.
Bang bang! I mean, still going.
I'm from Longview, man. I was born here. I played here. What you think I'm gonna do anyway?
Hey, guys.
The disrespect will be televised.
Now listen at
it. Lufkin beat us 13 times in a row. Yeah. And there's a couple of friends that I have from Lufkin that let me know they beat us 13 times in a row every time I see them. So if we beat Tyler Legacy, if we beat them, no, it don't make me mad. But if we beat somebody 18 times in a row, I'm gonna mention it.
So
look, this guy, we was talking Chapel Hill. He was trying to humble us.
If you don't like it,
we was talking Chapel Hill.
Stop it, right? If you don't like it, do something about it.
Hey, guys.
I mean, Gilbert did something about it. It was like, I'm tired of losing. This is the rematch. It's the rematch.
See why Bumpy in the play, man.
Bumpy has been crazy the entire show.
$70 on land.
I would love to. Anybody that's got land capture talk, I would love to see us play this. Just play them at full strength.
Man, that's crazy. You bet on high school games. That's crazy. I didn't know.
Hey, take that off. Take that off, bro.
High school games.
Delete that comment.
Delete that comment. These kids. Play them at full strength, and that's.
Taylor Tatum's not playing. That's a good investment. That's a smart bet. That's a smart bet. Taylor Tatum's not playing.
All right, guys. As we wrap up tonight, where's everybody going this weekend? I know we've got some guys going out to different locations.
Clearly, I'm going to the watering hole because Bumpy got me. I mean, I'm already there. Basically, what we talking about, I'm already drunk.
It depends on the weather. If the weather's good, I'm gonna be in Prosper Friday. I want to see Gilmer. I want to see. I want to see Gilmer and Rose. Who they playing? Glenn Rose. Yeah. If the weather's good. If not, I'll be on Texas Live watching it from here.
Okay. We got some games on too, Spence. You might want to tune into.
Well, okay. Talk to me. We got Thursday night. I know we got Timpson.
Thursday night, one of our NETSN crews will be down in Wood Forest Bank Stadium in Shenandoah for Timpson and Ganado. That will be Thursday, and that's tomorrow night. So that'll be a good one. Brought to you, by our NETSN guys. That'll be our guys, Shires, Watlington, Pierce, and those guys down there. So they're excited. We are able to get 2 state semifinal games of our broadcast crew. So it's an awesome accomplishment. Obviously, we get Chapel Hill from following them, but we were picked to do those, and there's not a whole lot of those games. So
there's three of us that's gonna be at the game on this panel. Me, you, and Kyle. We're all of us are gonna be there.
Yeah. Yes, for that. Vince, what you gonna be doing?
Man, I don't know what I'm gonna be doing, man. You know that baby almost here, so I'm chilling really. I ain't gonna do nothing.
Yeah.
So, I may watch a game, whatever come on YouTube. That's where I'm gonna be.
He said he got 70 on Gilmore.
Yeah. Well, I might be where Bumpy at. Bumpy done came up 70, so yeah, I think he got me.
Yeah, he came up.
Bumpy's coming to the CH. Bumpy's coming to the CH game. Hey, Bumpy.
Oh, well, hey, listen, since I've
energy.
Hey, listen, since I've been on a little sugar high, Bumpy, I'll see you at the game.
Oh.
Hey, listen.
Bumpy and his $70 bet on Lancaster got me rooting for Tide because don't play with us like that.
Listen, all I did was just address one specific person who sat up here and said Chapel will get blown out 45-10, and that ain't gonna happen. I'm sorry, but it's just not gonna happen.
All right.
Personally, I think the score is gonna be 28-13 Chapel.
So KO, I know KO disappeared, but I know he's going to be. He's got his background there. I guess he's already there at McLean Stadium.
Yeah.
I wish I was there right now.
Press box.
We're reporting live from McLean Stadium tonight.
Oh, there he's still here. He's live. So Kyle's going to be there. Christian and I will be there. So I'll be there doing that game. But before that, tomorrow, Corey, where are we going to be tomorrow? We got something going on tomorrow.
I have no idea.
Right?
Don't put me on the spot. I have no idea.
You know where you're going to be at, Corey. Stop playing.
I'm going to be watching ESPN.
I sure hope you don't
first take in the morning.
I sure hope you.
I got first take in the morning.
First take in the morning.
I sure hope.
Get up at 7 o'clock and watch Get Up. That's what you should do.
I sure hope you're at the gym. I'm going to be at the gym.
Absolutely.
At 7 a.m. in the morning.
We got basketball, baby. Hoops presented by Hoop Insiders. We're gonna be calling hoops, baby. Tournament time, baby.
Oh yeah.
That was as lame as what Texas is. Dump.
Yeah, where y'all calling hoops at tomorrow?
From Brook Hill over in Bullard. We're gonna be covering the Brook Hill Invitational.
Tournament season.
Yes, 8 games, 3 days in a row. We'll have 24 games on NETSN of hoops. This week, so a lot of
Spence Chapel's
sorry, just as entertaining as this.
Longview's basketball team to state this year.
State? First of all, I don't like the disrespect by your laughter. As soon as you said that, I almost said some words because I have been drinking some sweet tea that's not sweet. But I will tell you this about Longview's basketball team. I watched them play Nacogdoches last night. And they beat the dog out of Nacogdoches last night. Longview is as long and as smart as I've seen them in a very long time. They're starting a 6'8" guy, a 6'6" guy, and a couple of guards that are like 5'11", 6 footage. Like this is the longest we've ever been, and they know how to play basketball. So yeah, man, it's I think Longview's basketball team is pretty good. They lost to Lancaster last year in about the 3rd round. So it's not.
Y'all just losing Lancaster.
I saw that game.
Well,
yeah, so it's not This team is pretty good for by Longview standards. You know, we don't play basketball very well down here, but by Longview standards, this is one of the better teams we've had in a while. So I'm pretty anxious about it.
So here's the deal. So I'm going to call 8 games of basketball probably on Thursday, then turn around, get up and go back to the gym Friday morning and call 2 or 3 games in the morning, then drive to Waco, call a football game Friday night, drive back home, and then call games all day Saturday. So I'm looking at probably around 20 games in 3 days, probably calling games. So it's going to be a long week.
Hey, Bumpty. Hey, you don't have to worry about me choke slamming you if Chapel Hill loses. They have a bald Santa Claus to do that for them, and his name is Jeff Ritter. So I'm gonna leave that alone. But no, we're gonna win Friday. We're gonna win Friday. All
right.
I don't even like Bumpty right now because he took that shot. He said it's hard to be a team twice, Spence, unless you Timpson. It's like, dang, man. That's how you feel. I tell you, but I mean, Tim Sands, Terry Bussey, I promise you, guys, if we had Taylor Tatum, it'd be a different story. And I hate to say that because it sounds like that guy, but man, come on, dog. You know we wasn't at full strength. Stop playing with me.
Also, if you missed our Beast from the East show this morning, go back and watch it. It was fun. We had the professor on. It gave us a lot of good insight on this week's matchups on the games we have coming up. And if you're looking for some pick'em advice, he's got a lot of good inside information from the other teams. So it was a good show. But yeah, it's going to be a busy week. We had 3 basketball games yesterday. One of them, we had some issues technically, but we have 2 games came on. And then we had the Sinners show on Monday. We have the 2 shows tonight. So probably one of the most, I would say, most stuff on NETSN in 1 week in history. So it's an awesome week here on NETSN. We've got lots of action. It's going to be very busy. So if you get bored during the day, Spence, you can always, tune in.
I'll probably put it on during class tomorrow. It'll be good while I'm teaching.
Yeah.
Watch some basketball.
Should be a good day of hoops. I'm excited. Corey, I'm going to leave him in charge of technology while I'm gone. So he's excited about that. You can tell on his face. He's pumped about it, you may have to call the Geek Squad if you get in trouble. Maybe Vince can come save you. He's down the road.
We're just gonna use the huddle camera. We're gonna walk away.
Well, the camera will be fine. We got our camera guys on. Isaiah, Jalen, and Tim are going to be coming in doing camera work, so they'll be taking care of you guys. But man, it's going to be an awesome week. We'd like to thank everybody for joining us tonight, and we have 5 more teams left, so we'll come back next week and discuss who won, who lost, who's going to Jerry's World, to AT&T Stadium to compete for a state championship. Hopefully,
one thing.
Go ahead.
Quick plug. Spencer Company.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
YouTube, just dropped the episode today. It's gonna be on Twitter tomorrow for sure. But it's the most intriguing games of the week. Got that every week. Popping on Spencer Co. So you should definitely subscribe to the page if you haven't had a chance to. Some good work going into it. So hopefully you guys appreciate it. But yeah, man, you gotta check that out for sure.
Yeah, and I will say that definitely if you're listening to this, go check out Spence's stuff. He does a great job. He puts a lot of time and effort into it.
Well, yeoman's work.
I mean, he's got a real job, but he does a lot of video. You can tell that he goes through a lot of video and a lot of highlights and puts all that stuff together. So, at least you can do is help him out. Go give him a like to some videos and subscribe to his channel. We appreciate you coming on tonight, man. Glad you're able to make it. You're welcome anytime as well. Hopefully you didn't attack you too much.
No, man, it's cool. It's cool. Me and Bumpty got to talk, but it's all right. No, I'm playing.
Hey, I'll leave a piece of them for you. I'll send it to all of you.
You choke slam him, and then I'll hit him off the top. I'll come off the top rope with it.
Hey, I didn't want to say this, but you got a bald head, so hit him with a stunner. You can go Steve Austin.
Go Steve Austin on him. Oh man, bald jokes.
That's going to do it for the weekly wrap-up show. For Christian, Spence, Corey, and Vince, and also Kyle, who had to jet early, I'm Brett. We'll catch you next week right here on NETSN. Night, everybody. Have a great football weekend.
Is your demanding work lifestyle in need of fire-resistant clothing that can keep up? Well, L4FR clothing should be your go-to for quality, affordability, safety, and style. L4FR was founded by a third-generation oil field worker who is also a veteran. Thus, this company has a deep appreciation for reliability and longevity, all while we provide first-rate customer service. Our durable apparel will serve you well for many years to come, whether you're working on a pipeline, a lineman climbing utility poles, or in any other environment requiring fire-resistant apparel. L4FR has you covered. Our apparel is tough enough to resist hazardous conditions while still providing high comfort and style. L4FR provides clothing options to ensure your safety and comfort, whether you're on the job or not. To view our complete inventory of flame-resistant garments, please visit our online store at l4frclothing.com or give us a call at 817-757-4935. Si habla español.
Struggling with mobility, chronic pain, work, or sports injury? At Azalea Orthopedics, our team of highly trained physicians specialize in complete orthopedic care, pain management, sports medicine, physical medicine, and rehabilitation. If you've sustained a bone or joint injury, have mobility or movement problems, struggle with pain, contact Azalea Orthopedics. We're conveniently located across East Texas, serving 18 counties. When visiting your doctor, urgent care, or hospital, you have a choice. Demand Azalea. At Azalea Orthopedics, your health is our priority.